Good afternoon everyone, I am Rana and I'm gonna tackle about India. So now, India is a diverse and culturally rich country located in South Asia. With history dating back 1,000 of years, has been home to various civilizations and empires. India gained independence from British rule in the 1947 and is now a federal parliamentary democratic republic known for its vibrant traditions, languages, and religions. India is also characterized by a rapidly growing economy, technological advancement, and a mix of urban and rural landscape. And now let's proceed. People. People of India. People in India boast a diverse population comprising of various ethnicities, religions, and languages. The majority are Hindus, followed by Muslims, Christians, Sikh and Buddhists, and others. The caste system, though officially discouraged, still influences societal dynamics. And now let's proceed on Government of India. India operates as a federal parliamentary democratic republic. The president is the head of state, and the prime minister is the head of government. The political landscape is marked by multiple parties, with the Bharatiya Janata Party or BJP and the Indian National Congress being prominent. And now let's move on education of India. India places great importance on education, with a vast network of schools and universities. Despite progress, challenges such as uneven access and quality persist, like the Indian Institutes of Technology or IITS and Indian Institutes of Management IIMS contribute significantly to the global academic landscape. And now let's proceed on languages. India is incredibly linguistically diverse with Hindi and English as official languages. There are 22 officially recognized languages, including Bengali, Telugu, Marathi, Tamil, Urdu, and others. This linguistic variety reflects the country's cultural richness. So that's the end of my report.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordan Indian literature refers to the literature produced in the Indian subcontinent and in the Republic of India declared the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India has 22 officially recognized languages. Sahitya Academy, India's highest literary body, also has 24 recognized literary languages. The earliest works of Indian literature were orally transmitted. Sanskrit literature begins with the oral literature of the Rig Veda, a collection of literature dating to the period 1500 to 1200 before Christ exists. The Sanskrit epics Ramayana and Mahabharata were subsequently codified and appeared towards the end of the second millennium before Christ exists. Classical Sanskrit literature developed rapidly during the first few centuries of the first millennium before Christ exists, as did the Pali Canon and Tamil Sangam literature. An ancient Meitei appeared in the first centuries Christ exists, with sacred musical compositions like the Oguri and heroic narratives like the Numit Kappa. In the medieval period, literature in Kannada and Telugu appeared appeared in the 19th and 10th century respectively. Later literature in Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali, Assamese, Odia, and Maithili appeared. Thereafter, literature in various dialects of Hindi, Persian, and Urdu began to appear as well. In 1860, Bengali poet Rabindranath Tagore became India's first Nobel laureate in literature. Indian literature is known for religious and philosophical texts, as well as epics, devotional and erotic writing, folk tales, court poetry, and plays. The characters of Indian literature include and romance, good deeds, poetic form, morality and bravery, family theater, and dance. The father of modern Indian literature and Indian theater is Bharatendra Harishchandra. Two of the most ancient texts of which is the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Ramayana and Mahabharata are perhaps India's most prominent ancient texts, apart from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad Gita. Rama, the hero of Ramayana, and Krishna, the hero of Mahabharata, are the most revered incarnations of Vishnu and the most illustrious characters of Hindu mythology. The storytelling of these scriptures is by the ancient tradition of singing hymns with a musical instrument. It is said that if you want to know the do's for the successful life, read Ramayana. And if you want to know the don'ts for a successful life, read Mahabharata. These two dynamic texts provide two different views of life and its order. Mahabharata, as we know, is the story of two warring groups of cousins, Kauravas and Pandavas. Both groups belong to the same lineage of the Kuru clan and are fighting for the throne of Hastinapur. Ramayana is the story of Rama, a prince of Raghuvansh, whose family ruled in the province. Krishna Vaipayana, also known as Vedavyasa, stands asunder as well as the revered sage depicted in most Hindu traditions. He is widely regarded as Mahabharata's author. The stories of both Ramayana and Mahabharata feature Vedic deities such as Indra, king of gods, Surya, son of God, Vayu, wind god, and Agni, fire god. In Ramayana, Ram was born after a yagya was performed by King Dasharatha. Sita, daughter of Janak, was born after a Vedic ritual of ploughing the field. The leading Vanara characters of Hanuman, Sugriva and Vali are sons of Vali, Surya and Indra respectively. In Mahabharata, by the power of mantras, Kunti bears Karna, Yudhishthira, Bhima and Arjuna by invoking Surya, Yama, Vayu and Indra. Madri invokes the Ashwini twins to bear Nakul and Sahad Veda. Let's now move on to the general views of literature. Most of the ancient Indian literature was written in Sanskrit. The oldest extant Aryan language history of Indian literature falls into two periods. The Vedic period, from 1500 before Christ to 200 before Christ, it is the writings made principally of religious and lyric poetry. The Sanskrit period, 200 BC, epic lyric didactic poetry, drama, fairy tales, fables, romances, and philosophy. So now, let's move on to the religious works. Poetry. The oldest sacred literature of India is found in four Vedas, Book of Knowledge. The Rig Veda, the Samaveda, the Yajur Veda, and the Atharva Veda. The Rig Veda was written in the year 1040, an anthology of 1028 hymns of various gods. The prevailing religions of the Rig Veda is Hindu pantheism. Its chief object is Brahma, the eternal self-existent God. Most notable single poem and collection is the creation hymn. The Samaveda, or Book of Chants. It consists principally of liturgies, of which most are repetition of hymn in Rig Veda. The Yajur Veda, or the Prayer Book. It consists principally of liturgical and repetitions of Rig Veda, but it contains an additional poems and formulas. The Atharva Veda, or Book of Spells. Containing some hymns, it consists chiefly of spells, incantations, and notions about demonology and witchcraft. The Atharva Veda is a collection of 20 books with a total of 730 hymns of about 6,000 stanzas. So now, let's move on to the Indian prose literature. The Brahmanas, commentaries on the Vedic hymns and religious rites. These are possibly the earliest extant pieces of Indo-European prose. The Upanishads, 800 to 500 before Christ exist, a collective of 108 discourses on the Brahman religion. The Sutras, 500 to 200 before Christ, extremely concise, often unintelligible treatise concerning rituals. So now, let's move on to the secular works of literature in India. Let's start with the epics. The two epics contain a great deal of Indian mythological and religious matter. The Mahabharata existed in the year 500, the longest poem in the world, about 200,000 lines. It is divided into 18 books. Two notable interpolations are the Bhagavad Gita, or the Divine Song, a long didactic poem, 18 cantos in which Krishna, an incarnation of Vishnu, one of the main gods, discuss philosophy with life with Arjuna, one of the Pandavas, and Nala Damayani, a love story concerning conjugal patience and fidelity. Let's move on to the origin of Indian drama. The Toy card existed in the year 500 before Christ. Sakuntala, or the fatal ring, while King Dushyanta is absent, a Brahman sage hurls a curse of Queen Shakuntala. The Mahabharata is perhaps the greatest epic of India. It relates the story of a civil war that may have taken place in the very early years of the Aryan occupation of northern India. The Ramayana began in the year 500 before Christ and finished in the year a poem called 96,000 lines in 7 books. It concerns Rama, an incarnation of Vishnu, and his wife Sita. Rama's exiles Sita's faithfulness when tempted by Ravana, an evil spirit, and Rama's eventual destruction of the Tales. The ancient Indians had a great talent for telling stories. The Jatakas, 300 before Christ, Jatakas is the imaginative legends concerning the 550 births of Buddha and his early life, supposedly Tantra, or five books, is a series of tales derived chiefly from the Latakas, probably intended as a manual of instruction for King's son. The Hitopdesa or Book of Good Counsels, a series of 43 tales of which 25 in 4 books. The Sukasaptati or 70 Stories of a Parrot, a framework series of fairy tales. The Lyrics of Literature. The leading lyricists were Kalisada, famous for a large number of poems, sentiment, for example the Magha Dutta, or the Cloud Messenger, and Javadeva, author of the Gita Govinda, Cowherd in Song, a semi-dramatic lyric concerning the lovemaking of Krishna. Panchatantra, 200 before Christ exists, is said that the Panchatantra was written and was written for 3 pieces to teach them the principles of living correctly. It is one of the most known collections of Indian stories. Panchatantra is Sanskrit for 5 books. Modern Indian literature formed during the anti-colonial movement against British imperialism in India. During the Indian Renaissance, beginning in the mid-19th century, hope for India's independent future was a central theme in Indian literature. The 18th century in India was also another important. In their writings, Dalit writers followed the teachings of their first modern Dalit leader, B.R. Ambedkar. They criticized the caste system of India and the injustice they had to face being Dalit people, and also questioned the notion of labor in the Hindu caste system. The emergence of feminist movements in India gave women writers the power to perspective in their writings. In the first millennium before Christ exists, the Veda, Ramayana, and that's all.